Let's spend a quiet morning together doing some food prep. That will make it easier to make meals in the future. I'll start the day by baking the sourdough bread I made the day before. It's so easy to make, and my family likes it so much. And my husband has never seen me cut the bread before, so he was interested and stood and watched. Everybody has their own designs, and I keep mine really, really simple. Pop the bread into a cold oven, and then turn it on to 425 and bake it for 45 minutes. I'll quickly get the kitchen cleaned up. I always like to have the kitchen clean before I do cooking. My husband made us some German pancakes for breakfast. It's funny how I'll walk in and out of the door and not see the dirt that the dog has got on the window. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'll see it. And so I have to stop and clean it because who knows how long it will take for me to see it again. I've had so much trouble making dinner, and it started when I got COVID in 2022, and things just got really hard for me. And then I've wanted to get back into it so badly, but I just haven't been able to make myself do it because by the end of the day, I'm always really, really tired. Because besides having that problem, I also have fibromyalgia. And so I've thought so much about what I need to do, and I thought about making menus and then preparing a lot of meals ahead. I even tried preparing meals ahead one time, and it just wore me out. So it finally occurred to me, and it occurred to me this morning, why don't you look at it differently? Let's look at what you have in the refrigerator. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making a list of everything we need to use, and then I'll put that list on the front of the refrigerator. Oh, it's time to pull the bread out. Actually, not the bread out, pull the lid off. So I take the lid off of the bread, and I'll bake it for another 10 minutes. Anyway, if we go back to the food, I really didn't know what was in there because I had done some grocery shopping online, and my husband had been picking things up. And we had things in this refrigerator and things in the refrigerator out in the garage. So I decided I'm just going to start with this refrigerator and look and see what's in there, get it organized and cleaned out, and see if there's food in there that really needs to be used soon or food that I can prepare ahead and take out some of the steps. Make it easier for me to make food in the beginning. Oh, I always love this part. When I take the bread out and see how well it's turned out. I love this silicone thing that goes in my pan. I don't ever have to grease the pan. It just makes it really easy. Then I always move the loaf up here on this counter because we've had the dog eat it before. This is some leftover potato salad from the store I found in there, and the container wasn't working well. I found some hamburger that needed to be cooked up. And then it occurred to me, why don't I pre-fry some hamburger? And besides frying this little bit of hamburger, I also found some in the outside fridge because what you're seeing right now is Saturday. And then on Monday, I went through and did the same thing you're watching. And I found another pound of hamburgers. So I fried it up, and now I've used one, but I had 2 pounds, which really made things easier. I had some leftover sweet potato chunks, which needed to be roasted. And instead of just thinking, I'm going to do it, I'll do it, I really like to have roasted sweet potato on bowls. That's one of the things I wanted to work toward, having the ingredients for bowls kind of pre-ready. Then I found that I had bought some spinach, and you know the problem with spinach. If you don't use it right away, then it will go bad, and it starts getting those little slimy bits in there, and I could see some of that was happening, but it wasn't bad. So I thought, well, I'm going to fix this situation, and I have found that if you put a paper towel in with the produce, and you'll see me do it again in the video, then it helps it last longer. Then I found that I had tons and tons of peppers between this refrigerator and the outside refrigerator. I had so many. I had been buying them online. My husband had been buying them, and then they weren't getting used. And I don't know how my husband is, but no, I do, because we talked about it after this, and he loved that I'd done this prep. He says it made it so easy just to make a meal. I had him make a frittata on Sunday, and I gave him the recipe, and then when he was through, I said, well, how was that? And he goes, well, it was really easy because you'd done all the work. Anyway, so I decided I'm gonna get these all chopped up, because I know when I go to cook, sometimes it's the prep. Just thought, looking in the refrigerator and seeing, I'll have to cut up all of these peppers and clean the celery. It's not that any of the steps by themselves are hard. It's just all added up together. And when I'm tired, and my brain gets really tired at the end of the day, COVID caused me to have some issues with that. But it's all the little steps just feel so overwhelming. And so by doing this prep, and doing it to the extent that I'm doing, where I'm actually chopping things up, has made all the difference in the world. Oh, look at what happened to the sweet potatoes. My husband told me he'd had the same thing happen in the toaster oven. So next time, I'm going to determine the temperature and not trust the toaster oven to get that right. But I'll still eat them. I love them that much. Anyway, I was saying that when my husband came home yesterday from work, came in the door, and he smelled the chili that I had in the crock pot, because I've also found that if I could do as much as possible toward the meal in the morning when I'm fresh, then the odds go up dramatically that we'll eat my meal. And that's what happened. He came home from work and he smelled that chili in the crock pot, and he went, oh, well, it smells good. And I'd also made some bread. It was a recipe I got from King Arthur's flour, and it was really good. And the kids and my granddaughter just kept saying, oh, this is so good, Grandma, this is so good. And so this morning, I did the same thing. I'm working out a new routine for myself that allows me to do a walk and to prepare the meal as much as possible, and then do some of the things. Oh, and I do my daily chore around the house. I do all of those in the morning when I have the most strength. And then I'm doing some of the quieter things that I used to do in the morning after that. And so far, it's been working out really well. It's like this morning I went for a walk, I made the crock pot soup, and it was really nice because, again, I had some of that already prepared. And then I cleaned the laminate floor, which can be really a challenge for me, but that was the only chore I was going to do. I got that done. Then I went up and washed my hair. Washing my hair always is a big chore. I only do it once a week, and I have to figure out what day I'm going to do it. So I did that, and now, and I studied my scriptures, which is a quiet thing, and now I'm working on this video. So I've moved from active to quiet, and in the middle of all the active, I made sure that I made the food. Now, right now, you can see that I have been cutting up some cantaloupe, because what had been happening is my husband loves it, and he'd bring one home, and it gets set on the counter there by the toaster oven, and then it would just sit there waiting for someone to do something with it, and I just kept walking by him. I have got something for your chickens. Where do you put it? Hello, ladies. Oh, you guys can smell it, can't you? Here. I found a recipe on Pinterest, and you know, Pinterest recipes are kind of dicey, but it was for like pickled vegetables. It was supposed to be an anti-inflammatory, and I like, well, you know, they're kind of sour with the vinegar. I like those, so I thought, well, I'm chopping things up, I'll try it. Now, the problem with that recipe, it showed a picture of, it was really a rather small jar, and so I'm using a pint, and I'm using the amount of vegetables that the recipe recommends, but this jar wasn't large enough. And I saw the little round label at the bottom of the jar when I was carrying it in, and I thought, I wonder if this is a mayonnaise jar. But it didn't matter, I thought, because I wasn't going to process these. I'm just going to keep them in the refrigerator. So I start putting in the rest of the vegetables. I put them in the jar. Everything is fitting great. So I think, yes, I've got the problem solved. Then I start making, what is it? The kind of dressing, I guess. And it has apple cider vinegar in it. It has some oil. It has some salt and pepper. That's all normal. It has some maple syrup for the sweetening. It didn't add very much. I thought about that at the time because there was quite a lot of vinegar in proportion to this maple syrup. Then one thing that was really different about this is it calls for turmeric. And it's because turmeric is supposed to be anti-inflammatory. And so I wasn't so sure about that because honestly, I haven't had a lot of food with turmeric in it to my knowledge, and it seemed like quite a bit for this. It was 2 teaspoons, but I decided to go ahead and just use it. And then it said that it has some other herbs you could add in, and then one was some red chili pepper, which I like, but I added too much. And so I'm shaking this up, and then I tasted it, and it was just like, I had to add more vinegar. I was out of apple cider vinegar, and I could see this wouldn't be enough liquid for the vegetables. So I added some more. Then it had so much vinegar, I thought I've got to add some sweetening. But even with that, oh, you can see my expression. It's so sour. So I thought, well, I'll water it down a little bit here. And I tasted it again, and it tastes really turmeric-ward. But the good thing is the longer it sat in the refrigerator, the more the turmeric has kind of melded in, and it's not bothersome, but it's still really sour. I feel kind of disappointed, but I think it'll be fine when I use it on bowls or in salads when it's mixed in with other things. But when I make this again, and I will make this again, I will do it differently. I had some problems, but one of my problems is when I went to put that lid on, that mayonnaise jar wasn't the real size of a wine mouth. So I had to put it in another jar so that I could put a lid on it, but it all worked out. I'm so less stressed about the whole cooking thing. I'm really excited now to go through my freezers and our food pantry downstairs and see what we have. I feel like I've made some progress. So if you're having some difficulty with cooking, you might want to consider doing this. And I'll talk to you later. Bye!